It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An update on the Canyon Creek fire in Okanagan County. A crash near Chelan sends 2 to the hospital. And a freighter man is arrested in connection to an East Wenatchee hit and run. And the PUD seeks customer input on fiber service. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, we begin tonight. Fire crews are close to corralling a large brush fire that blackened almost 1,200 acres of brush and timber in Okanagan County over the weekend. The wind-driven Canyon Creek fire crossed State Route 153 in the Methow River near Ross Road. It burnt north to just past Taylor Road near milepost 26 and then to the east. One unoccupied cabin was destroyed. Fire Information Officer Tracy Baker says hand crews will continue to strengthen lines, which will reduce the risk of fire escape.
Stopped all forward progress of fire spread. Today, our goal is to construct containment line all the way around the fire and then continue with securing that perimeter with mop-up.
Baker also says the level 3 evacuations were reduced to level 2 this morning, and Highway 153 is planned to be fully reopened later today or this evening. For those interested, there will also be a Canyon Creek Fire Information meeting tonight at 7 o'clock at the Grange Hall in Twisp. 2 people were injured Saturday after their tractor-trailer rig crashed on Highway 97A about 8 miles south of Chelan. A State Patrol report says the driver, 24-year-old Zarin Sandom of Manson, crashed into 4 trees after failing to negotiate a curve. He and his 1-year-old male passenger were transported to Lake Chelan Community Hospital for treatment. And a freighter man was arrested Friday after he allegedly fled the scene of an injury accident in the East Wenatchee area. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested 46-year-old Jose J. Melendez and his unnamed passenger in an orchard near the crash scene. A State Patrol report says Melendez was exiting Kirby Billingsley Park onto Highway 28 when his vehicle struck a westbound vehicle driven by a Wenatchee woman. She and her 3 passengers were injured and transported to Central Washington Hospital for treatment. Melendez was not hurt. Chelan County PUD wants to know how satisfied you are with its fiber optic services. The utility is conducting a survey that asks customers for their input in efforts to improve high-speed internet service and identify any possible barriers to signing up for the services. The telephone survey is conducted by Robinson Research of Spokane and shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes to complete. Call the PUD at 661-4151 for more information. Coming up, a driver is seriously injured during a race at the Wenatchee Valley Super Bowl over the weekend. A fire district looks to voters for a levee lid lift. The Port District makes a new hire, and construction work on Highline Drive continues. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Welcome back. Wenatchee Valley Super Oval officials report a driver who was seriously injured in a race Saturday was transferred to Harborview Hospital in Seattle for treatment. The driver, identified as Jim Miller on Wenatchee Valley Super Oval's Facebook page, is reported to be in a medically induced coma, that according to family members. Details of the accident were not immediately available. Chelan County Fire District 1 officials are hopeful voters will agree to lift the district's property tax levy lid to help cover increased costs for services. Chief Mike Burnett explained the levy proposal earlier this spring with NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Mike Burnett is the chief of Chelan County Fire District 1. We're here at the downtown fire station right now. And, well, I guess it's kind of appropriate that we're in this antiquated building because I know that the fire district is looking to relocate and rebuild at some point in time. But you also have the operational costs, and that's a challenge each year. So I understand that you will be approaching the voters later this year to possibly increase the levy.
Yeah, we are. And first off, let's not call it antiquated. Let's call it a historic fire station here.
Historic, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. So yeah, in August, we're planning on going to the voters and asking for levy lid lift. Right now, we're at $1.37 per thousand, and we're asking to go up to $1.42 per thousand, with the capabilities over the next 6 years going as high as $1.50, based off of the assessed values and that kind of stuff, but never above the statutory maximum of the $1.50.
Okay, so what does that pay for?
So our goal is to bring on wildland firefighters, seasonal firefighters, starting next year with this. And then the second year of the levy, we want to fund and continue funding some positions that we got off of a grant. So it's called a SAFER grant. It's a federal grant that fully funds 6 positions. We received it late in 2016, brought the firefighters on beginning in 2017, and so we want to have the funding in place to be able to keep those 6 firefighters employed moving forward.
Okay. Any operational, any other things that need to be paid for, and why this is so necessary?
There you go. There's an emergency coming in. You want to keep going through this?
Go ahead.
All right. So
We have a working incident right now that's being toned out by Rivercom Dispatch. So if you hear some noise, that's what it's all about.
Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that are going on in the organization right now. Our funding is in place for the fire stations that we're currently working on. The replacement at the bottom of Squilchuck, that was partially funded through a grant. And then we just closed on the old Prospector Pies location. That will be our central fire station, probably in 2 years from now.
It's an end of an era as workers over the weekend removed the letters from the former federal building and post office. Local Telecommunications purchased the property at auction, and it's where the company intends to relocate its main office from East Wenatchee. The city of Wenatchee is also negotiating with Local-Tel to purchase part of the building for city services. The Port of Chelan County has hired a new Director of Finance and Administration. She's Monica Luff, who brings more than 19 years of experience in accounting and management of local government finances. Luff graduated from Central Washington University with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting and is a certified public accountant. Prior to joining the port, Luff was with the Cordell Neer Company and specialized in government consulting. Her duties at the port will include development of port business policies, operation and budget responsibility, finance, and IT. She will also ensure that the port complies with local, state, and federal regulations and laws governing port operations and records. Luff is married with 3 children and is an accomplished hiker and mountain climber. Road construction work continues on Highline Drive in East Wenatchee. Steve Hare reports.
The project involves several components that will impact traffic for the next 3 months. City Public Works Director Greg Piesolt said the first phase of the project involves replacing sewer and water lines and making stormwater improvements. The city is also putting in new street lights and sidewalks, as well as building a mini roundabout at the Simon Street intersection, which is historically congested. The roadway between Grant Road and 3rd Street will also be repaved, with completion slated for October 6th. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, Eric Granstrom has your sports update, followed by our features story today. That and much more still to come right here on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to Local-Tel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Monday evening. Hope you had a good weekend. The Wenatchee Apple Sox walked off with a comeback win on the road at Kelowna Sunday to complete a season sweep of the Falcons. Final score 7-4. How do you walk off with a win when you're not the home team? How about 6 consecutive walks in a 7-run 8th inning off 5 Kelowna relief pitchers and a wild pitch to boot. Heading into the 8th, Kelowna starter Sam Menegat had dominated Wenatchee hitters all night long, pitching 7 shutout innings, scattering 9 hits. He had 8 strikeouts. He headed for the showers and watched his bullpen squander the lead as the Apple Sox brought 12 men to the plate in the 8th, scoring all 7 of Wenatchee's runs. Meanwhile, Wenatchee's bullpen played lockdown from the 7th inning on, literally. Steen Fredrickson struck out the side in the 7th, then again in the 8th, and Connor Leadholm helped close things out and close that door in the 9th.
Leadholm a chance to punch out the Falcons 1-2-3 in the 9th and strike out the side. Here comes his payoff pitch to Mueller, and it's cut on and missed, held on to by Rattano. A curveball, out number 3, and the Apple Sox, their final 11 outs tonight, come on strikeouts. They score 7 in the top of the 8th, and they sweep away the Falcons 7-4, and say hello to your new first place team in the West Coast League North second half.
Trevor Williams with the call there on the Apple Sox Radio Network. Williams spoke with Coach Kyle Crustangel after the win, and especially about that wild 7-run 8th inning after the ball game.
Can't put a lot of words to it. I think it's a team that doesn't want to lose. You know, they want that first place title. They know how many runs we can score in an inning, and they refuse to give up. And you know, today was one of the first times that it kind of felt hand given to us. Obviously, you know, you get 6 walks in a row, especially with guys on third base and actually bases loaded, putting in runs. Really, the first time I felt like, you know, it wasn't necessarily us just swinging the bat, earning it, but at the same time, guys with great approaches, being stubborn at the dish, and you know, a couple timely swings to start the rally, and kind of one there towards the end that scored a run. But no, these guys just keep fighting, man. They don't give up, and it almost seems like we get a lot stronger from the 7th inning on the mound and shoot even in the box.
How about the Apple Sox? They head up to Kelowna, take 3 from the team that won the first half of the season. Apple Sox Journey Travel and Tours in Sunny FM celebrating Hawaiian Night tomorrow night at Paul Thomas Senior Field. One lucky fan will take home a dream Hawaiian vacation package, including airfare, hotel, rental car, and a snorkeling and catamaran tour. First pitch in the non-league game versus the Highline Bears tomorrow night, 7:05 at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Also in the West Coast League on Sunday, it was Bellingham topping Yakima 11-5. The Bells scored 9 in the first 3 innings with homers by Chase Illig and Cody Matthews. Port Angeles edge Corvallis. Martin Powell singled home, he singled home Kevin Kendall, there you go, for the walk-off win in the 9th inning. Walla Walla top Bend 13-7 the Sweets with a 6-run 8th. He raced in any chance for the Elks to come back in that one. It was Cowlitz down in Gresham by a final of 6-2. Kona Quiggle with a bases-loaded single highlighting a 4-run 4th inning for the Bears. So the North Division has Wenatchee on top at 6-3. Victoria half game back at 6-4. Bellingham third place 2 games back at 4-5. Port Angeles 3 games out of first place at 5-8. Walla Walla at 3-8. They're 4 games back. Kelowna now 5.5 games back at 2-10 in the second half of the season. Well, Nelson Cruz's solo home run in the 10th gave the Mariners a 7-6 come-from-behind victory over Chicago Sunday to complete a Seattle 3-game sweep. It didn't look good early for Seattle Sunday as Chicago used 2 long balls to score 5 runs in the first 3 innings and chase Mariners starter Andrew Moore. But relievers Emilio Pagan, James Pazos, Steve Cishek, and Nick Vincent and Edwin Diaz held serve from there on, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits, striking out 6 to give Seattle's offense a chance for the comeback. Kyle Seager put a charge in the offense with a solo home run in the 4th. Then in the 5th, Danny Valencia capped a 4-run inning with a 3-run homer. That tied the game at 5. Manager Scott Service said this definitely was a team win.
Down 5-0 early in the game. Tip my hat to our offense. Guys just kept hanging in there. Seager, big homer. Valencia, huge, getting us, back to even. And then I thought we had enough with the lead there, but our bullpen was outstanding today. From Pagan, get the big double play from Pezos. Even Shrek, threw the ball good after gave the ball down the line to Abreu. And I thought Diaz was outstanding today. That's probably the best we've seen Eddie Diaz all year. So, and again, Nick Vincent, just kind of under the radar, does a great job. So, total team effort. Obviously, Andrew Moore was not on top of his game today. Just didn't have the fastball man, and that's his strength. You know, being able to go both sides with the fastball and work all the other stuff in. He just didn't have it today. So thankful for us. We had a pretty rested Penn, and Pagan was able to get into the game for us.
Seattle now heads to Houston to begin a 3-game series with the Astros. Ariel Miranda going up against Lance McCullers tonight. Also in the American League West on Sunday, Houston topped Minnesota 5-3. Kansas City beat Texas 4-3. As the Angels passed the D-Rays 4-3. And Oakland got by Cleveland 7-3. Houston still on top, 16.5 games in front of second-place Seattle in the American League West. Well, over 50 anglers took part in the 6th annual Wenatchee Salmon Derby Friday and Saturday between Rock Island and Wells Dams here on the Columbia River. The event sponsored by the CCA and was named in honor of former organizer Pete Floor as a Memorial Salmon Derby. Floor passed away last year in a traffic accident off I-5 in Oregon. Prize money was given away for the biggest fish and heaviest boat weight, thanks to Johnny Stavenjord of Hooked on Toys for sending us these pictures. First, here's Johnny with the big fish of the Derby. This hog weighed in at 25.21 pounds. That's a big fish. Stuart Hurd in the picture of the 3. There's the big fish again. You get to the picture of all 3 of them. On the left, Stuart Hurd. Johnny's in the middle, and his brother Corey on the right with their catch for the boat. Johnny tells me they fished out of Stuart's guide boat on Friday, Johnny's boat on Saturday. Still awaiting an email on the total results from the weekend. Next up, the 12th annual Brewster Salmon Derby. That is August 4th, 5th, and 6th. Well, an interesting weekend for Wimbledon. We're going to get right to the video here. You will not believe what happened.
You said body? Why don't you go there?
Oh, okay, so Kim was asking where she should serve, wide or down the middle, and this young man suggested body serve. Yeah, this is, oh yeah, you're right, Kim. This is so much against the rules here at Wimbledon. I think she might be getting something white for him to wear. This isn't going to work. Kim, this isn't going to work. They're not going to get over the knees. Oh my goodness. I really hope we don't have a camera shot from behind. Mistakes. He's asked for one more. The game's gone, it's over. That's a man in a skirt trying to return Kim Clijster's serve. It's 2017, people. They've completely forgotten there's a tennis match going here.
Pretty good stuff right there. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center started the first of its 4 summer arts camps over the weekend, and NCW Life's Jay Seaback has the story.
Saturday, July 15th marked the first of 4 summer art camps hosted by the Wenatchee Valley Museum. The Summer Saturdays at the Museum program is a series of hour-long art classes targeted towards youngsters that want to develop their artistic talents. During last Saturday's class, kids learned how to make stained glass vases and papier-mâché flowers. Classes are led by local artist and Wenatchee High School senior Natalie Allgard and are free to the public. The next class is on July 29th and will teach kids how to make stone handprints. Check out the Wenatchee Valley Museum website or Facebook page to check out more upcoming events that might interest you.
We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of today's stories and your weather forecast for North Central Washington.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Now for a recap of our top stories. Fire crews are close to corralling a large brush fire that blackened almost 1,200 acres of brush and timber in Okanagan County over the weekend. The wind-driven Canyon Creek fire crossed State Route 153 and the Methow River near Ross Road. It burnt north just past Taylor Road near milepost 26 and to the east. One unoccupied cabin was destroyed. Fire Information Officer Tracy Baker says hand crews will continue to strengthen lines, which will reduce the risk of fire escape.
Stopped all forward progress of fire spread. Today, our goal is to construct containment line all the way around the fire and then continue with securing that perimeter with mop-up.
Baker also says the level 3 evacuations were reduced to level 2 this morning, and Highway 153 is planned to be fully reopened later today or this evening. For those interested, there will also be a Canyon Creek Fire Information meeting tonight. It's at 7 o'clock at the Grange Hall in Twisp. 2 people were injured Saturday after their tractor-trailer rig crashed on Highway 97A about 8 miles south of Chelan. A State Patrol report says the driver, 24-year-old Zarin Sandom of Manson, crashed into 4 trees after failing to negotiate a curve. He and his 1-year-old male passenger were transported to Lake Chelan Community Hospital for treatment. An Ephrata man was arrested Friday after he allegedly fled the scene of an injury accident in the East Wenatchee area. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested 46-year-old Jose J. Melendez and his unnamed passenger in an orchard near the crash scene. A State Patrol report says Melendez was exiting Kirby Billingsley Park onto Highway 28 when his vehicle struck a westbound vehicle driven by a Wenatchee woman. She and her 3 passengers were injured and transported to Central Washington Hospital for treatment. Melendez was not hurt. Chelan County PUD wants to know how satisfied you are with its fiber optic services. The utility is conducting a survey that asks customers for their input in efforts to improve high-speed internet service and identify any possible barriers to signing up for those services. The telephone survey is conducted by Robinson Research of Spokane and shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to complete. Call the PUD at 661-4151 for more information. And now your weather forecast for North Central Washington. But before we get to that, let's take a beautiful look at our Wenatchee Valley. We are seeing some high clouds out there today. That's kind of a switch from what we've seen over the past week or two with crystal clear skies, but we will continue to see a ridge develop over eastern Washington and northern Idaho, and that will allow for a warming trend to begin with a general dry forecast and decreased winds. The ridge continues to amplify as an area of low pressure off the coast digs in. You can see that just off the coast of British Columbia. That counterclockwise rotation is an area of low pressure that will kind of just skirt the northern and eastern parts of Washington. Otherwise, we can expect slightly warmer weather. On Wednesday, another day of dry and warm weather is expected, but it looks like Thursday will be our most active weather day this week. There will be a chance of some gusty winds and low humidity, which will raise concern for wildfires, and we'll keep you posted on that. So here's your forecast. We can expect nice mild lows of around 61 degrees tonight with clear skies, 90 your high on Tuesday, also sunshine. As we move into Wednesday, 91 with sunshine as well. And then that cool down with more wind on Thursday will drop down to 83 Thursday, 85 Friday. Both of those temperatures are below our normal of 87 degrees for this time of year. And as we move into the upcoming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, boy, things look nice again. Lots of sunshine, 91 Saturday and 94 as we end your weekend on Sunday with low temperatures in the middle 60s. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening or have video you'd like us to use, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.